Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 The Howl. Today we're going to talk about something positive for the Utah Hockey Club, their penalty kill, and what an unbelievable trajectory it has become since Andre Tourigny became an NHL head coach. At first I thought, how am I going to make a video on just a penalty kill? I got so much good nuggets, little stats here and there, and it should turn out to be a pretty good video. We're going to look at some history first, dating back to when Andre Tourigny became the head coach of the Arizona Coyotes. They hovered around 75% for about his first 3 seasons, and in that third season, you start to see it uptick to about 76.5%. And then with Utah, I know we're at game 49, but just for the sake of this video, if someone watches this video 3 years from now, it's better to see 50 games played than 49. But from games 10 to 50, it's gone up in pretty much a straight line, a little bit of a dip here from games 10 to 20, but they start off the season almost 77%. It dips a little bit, and then it's been on a crazy trajectory since then. 78.5%, just above 80%, and now today they're at 81.65%. It's good for 10th best in the whole NHL and 4th best in the West. And there's been a lot of talk about the PK during the homestand. I'm sure we all noticed because of how annoying it is. During their penalty kill, the broadcast has decided to make that little diamond shape to make you sort of see and visualize better how the formation of the penalty kill moves around. But around game 35, they say a late December game against the Avalanche. They played the Avalanche on December 12th and the 27th, I believe. So I'll take the 27th game. So that's game number 35. Is where the broadcast team has said they changed their penalty kill format from a sort of box to a diamond. And since then, it's been on fire. Game 35 was probably about 79%, and it's up about almost 2.5%. With the power play, it sort of stays static, but with the penalty kill, there's a lot of moving parts. For me as a hockey player on a PK, it's like after 40 seconds, I did my job. I didn't allow a goal. I'm getting off on the ice. So we see a lot of players interchanging on the penalty kill. And depending who took a penalty, if a penalty kill unit player took a penalty, it changes the whole thing. Whereas the power play, it's always the same units unless you change the units before the game. You can't take a penalty and go on a power play. That sort of doesn't happen or can't happen basically. So let's go. Who are the minute munchers for the Utah Hockey Club? We'll start with the defense. Mikhail Sergachev was missed the past, handful of games, 4 or 5 games. He sorely missed, and at the moment John Marino came into the lineup, we pretty much lost Sergachev. We've only had 2 games where both Marino and Sergachev has played, and coincidentally we lost both of those games. Pretty dismal defeats as well to Montreal and the Rangers on home ice. But Sergachev leads the way with almost 3.5 minutes per game. That's a lot of hockey to play on the PK. After him, it's Ian Cole, 35-year-old. He's turning 36 on February 21st. And look at that, 3 minutes per game on the PK. Honestly, he's been a big surprise for me. When they acquired him in the offseason, I thought, okay, he's old, he'll be there for a veteran presence, but no, they're working him hard late in his career. And of note of Sergachev, he is going to pass his career high in total minutes of penalty kill time in about 8 games played. So if he stays this pace, in about 8 games, he would surpass the amount of penalty killing he did on the Tampa Bay Lightning. The highest he did in the Lightning, it took him 79 games played. So he's about at 43 games played. So around the 50 game mark, Sergachev would have surpassed his career high in total minutes on the penalty kill. So we're definitely using him way more than he's used to on the Lightning, but he's been up to the challenge and he's done a masterful job on the back end for the PK. John Marino, who's played 7 games for Utah coming back from injury, he's taken over as that horse on the PK since Sergachev's injury. He's around 2.5 minutes per game. Oli Mata, such an underrated pickup on waivers. I like this video too because I'm talking about players that I usually won't talk about, like Mata, Valimaki, Stenlin, Kerfoot, McBain. These players don't usually jump at you on the score sheet, but in other areas of the ice, they do a wonderful job. So Ole Mata, he wasn't a waiver pickup. He was traded for a third-round pick. I caught myself there. Just about over 2.5 minutes per game, reliable, steady, consistent, just a great trade by Bill Armstrong to stop the bleeding of the defense and the penalty kill, and he's fit in like a glove. And actually, during his time with Detroit earlier in the season, those 7 games played with the Red Wings, he only averaged about 30 seconds per game on the PK. So we're definitely using him much better than the Detroit Red Wings did. Valimaki, 1 minute per game. He's sort of there now that Sergachev is injured. It's Cole, I think it's Marino and Mata are the first penalty kill pairing. Am I going to get that right? It's Mata and Valimaki as a second, Cole and Marino as a first. So right now with Sergachev out of the lineup, Marino and Cole are your first pairing, and then Valimaki and Mata are your second pairing. So that's why Valimaki's numbers have gone up. But once Sergachev hopefully comes back, you're going to have, Sergachev and Cole as your first pairing and Marino and Mata as your second pairing. And then Valimaki and Kesselring will be there just as a sort of a safety net. If one of those players has the penalty or committed the penalty, Valimaki and Kesselring, they got enough experience on the PK where they could slide in. We're going to go to the forwards now, leading the way, the top pairing of Stenlin and Kerfoot. Stenlin, unbelievable. 2 minutes, 43 seconds per game on the PK, and Kerfoot's right there with them. They're like attached at the hip on the PK. They're wonderful. They're both centermen. Depending on where the faceoff is on the ice will determine who takes the faceoff. And I'll jump ahead here. Utah's got the third best faceoff percentage while shorthanded. So great stuff there by the forwards. McBain, third highest player. A bit surprising. For me, I thought for sure Krause and Bukestad would be high penalty kill minute players, but actually Bukestad's not even on here. He's averaging about 3 seconds of penalty kill time per game. Last season, he was averaging well over 2 minutes per game. So Andre Tourigny mixing it up here, going with the younger Jack McBain, and then Logan Cooley doing everything on the power play, on the PK. Great stuff 5-on-5. He's doubled last season's penalty kill minutes already at game 49, and he played, I'm pretty sure, the whole season last year, 82 games. Cooley and McBain are your second pairing for the forwards. And then you got some insurance there. You got Krause. Cooley used to take a lot of penalties, so I'm sure Krause would replace Cooley. Krause last year, him and Bukestad had the same amount of penalty kill time, about 2 minutes and a quarter per game, and now Krause has dropped down probably about a minute. He's down to a minute per game, and Bukestad's down to 3 seconds, like I already mentioned. So Tourigny changing up the forward penalty killing there. Schmaltz and Hayden, it's notable that they have about 30 seconds of PK time per game. I believe that's because they're centermen. So if Kerfoot or Stenlin or McBain take the penalty, you have some insurance there with Hayden and Schmaltz. Good to see Gunther there with 20 seconds on penalty kill time per game. That probably means that Tourigny will put him out there if there's like 5 seconds left in the PK and there's a face-off. He'll put Gunther up there just to get the offense going, generate some offensive momentum, because it's pretty low probability the team will score in those 5 remaining seconds. You could say Keller too should be up here, but I looked at Keller and he's only got 3 seconds of penalty kill time per game. So he's very rarely being put on the ice. If there's 5 seconds left in the penalty kill, they'll probably go with Hayden, Schmaltz, or Gunther. And we'll get to the stats now. So before we get to the stats, just want to talk Cooley a little bit more. There's a lot of people that might say, they look at Cooley's point totals and goal totals. He's about to surpass last year's totals in well over 20 games less. So they might say, oh, he's playing so much more. He's on the power play now, power play number 1. He's on the PK. His time on ice has increased so much, which is true. His average time on ice on average is up 2 minutes per game. But having said that, with the increased ice time, his points per 60 minutes of ice time has increased as well. Usually, if you want that argument, the points per 60 should stay the same, but his points per 60 minutes has increased. Last year, it was 2 points per 60 minutes. Now it's jumped up a full point to 3 points per 60 minutes. So not only is Cooley on the ice way more, obviously that's going to translate to higher points, but his point rate, his point clip rate is increasing as well. So great stuff by Logan Cooley. So let's get into the stats. Don't want to alarm you here, but Utah is the 5th most penalized team in the league in terms of minutes. And in terms of penalty minutes shared in a game, Utah is 1st in the league. So they take more of the penalties than their opponents do in a game. But, you know, good thing they have a good power play, or else that would be a worst case scenario. Like I said, they already had a 3rd best face-off percentage while they're shorthanded. And we'll get into the shots on goal and the different types of shots on goal against during the penalty kill, because a lot of interesting stuff here. They have the 6th most shot on goal against in the league, which is alarming. So in terms of the whole league, they allow the 6th most highest shots against on the PK. But if you look at the quality of the shots against, you might, like even me, I was like, wow, 6th highest in the league, the amount of shots they're taking on the PK. They are 5th best in the league in terms of the least amount of high danger shots against while on the PK, but then they are the worst in the league in terms of medium shots against during the PK, and 3rd worst in the amount of low danger shots against per game. So high danger chances, they're limiting a lot on the PK, but they're allowing those medium shots and low quality shots to allow our goalies to make saves and giving them the chance to make the saves that they need the goalie to make, instead of giving up really high quality chances against. So that's good stuff. I think that's a great quality. Sure, you allow a lot of shots on the PK, but they're low quality, they're not high quality, and that's pretty much what you want. You want the other team to take low quality shots, because maybe after a shot, the goalie saves it, they get a whistle, there's a rebound, the puck goes in the corner, maybe Utah gets possession after a shot, and it kind of scrambles the power play unit after a shot is taken. So I think that's a big positive for Utah. And also another big positive is they have the 2nd most blocked shots while shorthanded. So good stuff by all the Utah fearless defenders and forwards to have a really good, respectful blocked shot metric there on the PK. So some positive stuff, some good stuff. I know it's been hard those past 2 losses. With the Winnipeg loss, you know, we kind of all felt that was going to happen, but the Ottawa loss, that 3rd period was pretty brutal, but they got their 50th game Wednesday night at home against the Penguins. Let's get a win here. Hopefully we get some injury news, some good injury news. Maybe we get some good timelines on Sergachev and Gunther, and just wanted to lighten up some spirits that, you know, Utah's doing some good things right, despite these massive injuries that are just having a huge impact on the team. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.